Hey everyone, you got Anderson here from Quanto, and we're here with another ChatGPT practical use case for your accounting firm demo. And so here, what we're trying to show you is a post that we posted last week around how you can create a business plan specific to your accounting firm to help you scale to 5 million revenue plus. For firms that we work with that are trying to get transition ready, that's typically the goal so that they can exit their businesses at say 20 million plus. And so helping you build a plan to get there in the next, say, 1 to 3 to 5 years is really helpful as you talk to the rest of your leadership within your firm. And so what we're going to talk through here today is between two models, ChatGPT 4.0 and o3. I'll explain a little bit more, but I'll post the prompt that we put in that we'll also put in the comments below here on this video. It gives you a sense of how you're teaching ChatGPT to think. And so here you're seeing acting as a growth strategist for an accounting firm, so specific to the accounting industry with 20 years experience, which is a really fun hack to tell ChatGPT to take this seriously. And then you're putting what annual revenue you're trying to target. So in this case, it's $5 million. And then you're also, this is a really cool trick where you tell ChatGPT to ask you what additional information it needs to be able to get you a specific plan that's catered to your firm. So we've given it some examples of information it probably needs. So these are variables that the large language model's thinking through and it's going to re-ask you for, but it'll ask you for additional things. And here we're asking for a 3-year roadmap. So we're going to use the 4.0 model. So quickly, the 4.0 model is one of the fastest models. It's probably the most generic model that'll help you with most of the tasks that you need to do. The o3 model is something called a reasoning task. So it'll think through like a human and really understand why you're asking certain things and go to the internet in multiple cases to verify that as well. 4.0 also goes to the internet, but it's like a one-shot model. So here you'll see when we click send, it's going to be a lot faster. It's thinking through and then it's bam, you have the answer right now versus when I show you the o3, you'll see it think through multiple reasoning steps. So it comes back and it asks you all this information around what it needs in order to give you that specific plan. And for example, here we just had a few sentences. Here it's asking you much more detail. So we'll start. I'm not going to answer all of that just for the interest of time, but I'll put some key information in. Our current revenue is 1 million. We have 100 clients. Average monthly fee is $750 per month. We offer bookkeeping and corporate tax. We don't do personal tax. So that's just something that I just want to add just to see. You might be doing personal tax, so you can add that as well. And we do a lot of advisory and CFO services. Okay, you can do a lot more and you can add that. I'd say our team structure is 2 partners, an EA, and 1 bookkeeper and 1 accountant. We are on QBO, Carbon, and Ignition. Let's say those to start. I'm not going to talk about the bottlenecks, but you can add that too to be more specific. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this to the o3 model now. And so now that I'm giving it more information, I wanted to now think through it like a human. So here you can see it's actually thinking versus on the 4.0 model, it was just doing one shot into it. It thought for 4 seconds, and now it's coming and asking me for additional information, which is super cool. So it's saying, can you give me the target industries? And it's going to say, we don't have a target, but would love advice on which industries to target. And let's say client onboarding is painful and month and close for bottlenecks. So see how it came back to you to ask you for more information, which is really, really cool. Typically, if we just did the 4.0 model, it'll use whatever information it has to go out and get you an answer. But in this case, just like say an intern working at your accounting firm comes back to say, hey, I actually need additional more information to give you the best answer. And so here you can just be able to actually see how the model is thinking, which sounds really cool. If like a human's thinking through it, and you can think through all their thoughts, and you can see right now it just went through like almost 10 websites, including Carbon, include Jetpack Workflow, various different ones that we know within the accounting community that are reputable sources. You can also prime it in the prompt to be like, hey, I want you to really focus on this website. There it's going to AI CPA to be able to find some stuff, going back to Carbon. And you can even see how it's mentioning that in here. So anything public that's on the internet, it's able to go through, and it's now Googling for CPA firms, case studies that have 5 million, and it's going across the web. So with all this information, while I was thinking, I just want to go back and show you with just this little information that you've given it, it's been able to go through the entire internet to find that. So all I'm saying is if you have more time, which I'm sure you do, we're trying to keep this demo within 10 minutes, you can be able to add more and more information. So if you have a strategic document, for example, from your firm that you and your partners look on a quarterly basis or yearly basis, then you can also put that in here as an attachment. And here you go. So thought for 1 minute and 25 seconds, which is still much faster than a human. And we see here that it's asking you to clarify its niche. It's telling you to raise your average revenue per client, which is something we constantly hear in the accounting industry, how it's not about taking on more clients. It's about really getting those clients to pay what they're worth, what the value of your services are, which is to pay more. And so here's a 3-tier system that it's giving you, which we're all very familiar of. And then how you can staff it over 3 years, client acquisition strategies, quarterly milestones based on revenue. And so this, within a couple minutes, has given you something that you could take back to your leadership team and be able to talk about it. And in many cases, we at Quanto build very detailed plans like this as we help firms that are looking to get transition ready. And we are able to put on a lot of the tech that it is requiring here, so you can get these very lean net margins. 40 plus margins is what we aim for at a base minimum. And so if any of this is interesting, we highly recommend you use your $30 per month ChatGPT plan to get something like this. And if you want to talk about how you can actually implement many of this, feel free to reach out. We'd love to chat about this, and see you at the next demo.